Hello guys, we got a full slate of games today for MLB Wednesday, June 15th. Did really well on Tuesday, basically hit everything except the Colorado and Guardians. And then Chris Bubich, his fantasy score prop because he turned into like a Cy Young pitcher. But at least the earned run allowed one hit, and basically everything else was all in the green. So let's keep it going again for today. Now it's a Wednesday, so we got a lot of morning games. So I'm going to be posting my picks. Usually every day I think is the best to just give you guys the plays before the lines change. So going to be doing that shortly. By the time you see this video, those should already be up. But getting into it, first inning runs allowed, they're going to be 2, and we're attacking a lot of the same players actually compared to Tuesday. And that is going to be Cubs, Padres, 0.5 first inning runs allowed, taking the over, and then also Guardians and Rockies over on this as well. Both of these overs, not locks because it's just really hard to predict about first inning runs. Sometimes it's just volatile. Like the teams could score 0 in the first and then score like a combined 15 runs in the rest of the game. So that's why I rarely will lock something. But the reason why I like these two games is, one, you have Wrigley Field, which is very wind sensitive, 14-mile winds blowing straight out the center. And we saw what happened with today. If you do have winds that strong, 84 degrees, very good hitting weather, you're just going to see a lot of runs scored. Like the Padres, they put up a double-digit runs after, I don't think, scoring until the 5th inning. So that's just how this ballpark can be. And then on the other side, the Cubs, they're better at home. They're facing off against Ryan Weathers, who isn't going to go deep into the games. Ryan Weathers, a lefty, you take a look at his numbers, basically Bubich, but a little bit better. So hopefully he doesn't get the same luck in the umpire on his side for today. But Weathers, he was a top guy, drafted 7th overall, but he really wasn't good last year, 5.30 expected ERA. So a lefty allowing a ton of power to righties. Not really good against lefties either, but he's going to mostly see righties in this Cubs lineup. And then he typically doesn't go that deep. So that's why you're probably going to see a righty come in after him. But still, we're taking a first inning run prop here, so like the over. And then Caleb Killian on the Cubs, really not much that we can really go off of. He's made one start. It wasn't terrible. The Cardinals only giving up 3 earned, 6 strikeouts. Pretty good, but just the weather, it's way too good. And the Cubs, they're not a good team. So even the guys following Killian for the offensive side, like some of the props I'm going to take later on in this video, going to attack this game pretty much heavily. And then the other one, Pilkington against Gomber. 89-degree weather, it's Coors Field. We're going to go with the over. Didn't hit today or yesterday, but Shane Bieber, definitely a much better pitcher than Connor Pilkington. And then Gomber, I mean, he's better than Senzatella a little bit. At least he strikes a little bit more guys out, but still, this is just two pitchers that really aren't the greatest, and they get to be in Coors Field, so that should mean some fireworks for these offenses. And it's 89 degrees, Coors Field. Anytime you do have some warm weather, going to be even better hitting conditions. So both these are the over. And then if you do want to take hits instead, 1.5, you can take the overs on those. Usually if I'm taking the runs over, then I'm going to take the hits. They just correlate really well. You can only pick one, but obviously you can mix it up. And then heading on to fantasy score for pitchers. There's one, posted this already on Twitter. Sonny Gray under 31.5. It's a little bit tricky, I would say, because this is going to be his first start in a little bit over 2 weeks. He had a pectoral injury, and he made a simulated start throwing 30 pitches on Friday, June 10th. So only 30 pitches, I feel like, is just going to be limited here. The report from RotoWire was that he could expect to go 4 to 6 innings, depending on the pitches needed to go that length. But I'm just really not sure. Like, he's typically not someone that will go over 100 pitches, and I feel like this line's set for him to go full length. And 31.5, I just think this is too high for him. Looking at Seattle, WRC plus against righties, they rank 7th. Sonny Gray's a good pitcher, though, so that's why I can't say that this is a lock. I'm just pulling up Sonny Gray's numbers. This is going to be a road start, so maybe, that kind of helps. But Sonny Gray's just been in the league for a while, and he's a solid pitcher. His strikeout numbers are up there. And I would say probably because of the limit, you're not going to see the quality start and play. So that's why I'm interested in the under here. If you don't get that +6, it's pretty hard to get. In my opinion, I would think to get at least 32. So it really just depends on his limit. If we do get some clarity on it, then yeah, gonna maybe make this a lock, or maybe they say that he's actually not on any limit, then taking this off. But right now with a 30 pitch like outing, I just think this is definitely a sign that he is going to be limited. On to hitting. So originally I was going to take 2 Giants, but I'm actually just going to stick with Jock Peterson because we're going to take Yastrzemski in a different category. And Jock Peterson, 7.5. They're taking on John Heasley. This guy he made a really good start last time, but that was against Baltimore. The Giants, a much better offensive team. They will just platoon you any way that they can, and Heasley struggles against lefties. Very significant splits, and this Giants team, let me just take a look at the projected lineup, because they will have, Brandon Bell, he pinch hit on Monday, so he should be back in the lineup. So you're going to see just a whole slew of lefties. Like, that's 7 lefties that Heasley is just weak, bad against. You got 10-mile wins, but again, it's San Fran. Wins do not really matter. But it's just, how can you not like the spot for all these Giants lefties? Jock Peterson, a tremendous hitter, but the pinch hit risk remains. However, the reason why I'm going to be more confident in this one is he actually started against Bubic on Monday. So they basically said, hey, we're going to let you hit against lefties. Maybe it's to get him prepped for down the stretch for playoffs or something, that they're going to say, hey, you know what, we're going to have to let you get used to facing lefties. You might have to do it later on, so might as well get those reps in right now. But the Royals, if you look at their bullpen, they only have 1 lefty, and that is Amir Garrett. Garrett actually pitched on the 12th and the 13th. So he's not rested, and that might mean that we don't see a lefty at all this game. It's kind of hard to see that happening, because it's so tempting if you're a coach to put in a lefty when you see 4 lefties to start the lineup. So not too sure about that, but at least Peterson is going to be batting cleanup, hopefully. So I wouldn't expect him to use Peterson, and then there's a righty right behind him. It's kind of a waste, but that's why I like Peterson. He's got a ton of power. So I really like this one. And then another one coming from that Cubs game, it's going to be Wilson Contreras. Only at 6.5. He's just amazing when it comes to facing lefties. Gets one in Ryan Weathers, and he homered twice, doubled as well against Sean Manaea. Weathers, much weaker pitcher than Manaea. You got tremendous hitting conditions. This is just too low of a line for Contreras. And then heading to runs and RBIs. So got some locks here. Got to start with Kyle Schwarber. I'm not going to lock this yet, and it's actually something that I need to bring up about the Phillies here. The Marlins were originally scheduled to start Pablo Lopez, but his bullpen session didn't go well, so he's scratched. He's not going to pitch, but we don't know who the actual starter is. It might be a bullpen game, and we have to wait for the announcement, but whoever it is, I'm probably going to take this. Schwarber's leading off against lefties as well, and he just gets on base a ton, walks a lot, been hitting a lot better against lefties, and if he's going to lead off, I definitely like this. The Phillies are a good offense, but about hitting fantasy score for the Phillies, all of these guys look really intriguing. If it's a lefty, take Castellanos. If it's a righty, take Schwarber and Harper, because these lines are likely going to be too low for a starter that's not going to be nearly even half the talent of Pablo Lopez is. And then heading back to runs and RBIs. So that other giant prop is Yastrzemski at runs and RBIs. Locking this one, he's going to hit against lefties. So there is no pinch hit risk, hopefully, because the Giants are getting healthier. But they'd just much rather save their righties for guys like Peterson, Belt, who aren't as strong against lefties. So Yastrzemski projected to hit second against the pitcher that struggles against lefties. He's got guys behind him with a ton of power. Brandon Belt, hopefully back in the lineup. Another guy that can drive him in if Yastrzemski gets on base. So looks like a very good spot. The Royals have one of the worst bullpens. So yeah, really like this prop. And then Austin Riley, 0.5, taking the over here against Eric Fetty. Ozuna has really good numbers, but I just think Riley, he's just so much better of a hitter overall. And Riley hits higher in the order. And then, if Osuna really does get it going today again against Fetty, Riley probably is on base. So he's going to be driven in by Osuna. And then the last one, a lock, is Chris Morel. This guy, he gets on base a ton. Leadoff hitter for the Cubs, 0.5 RBIs, taking the over, gets the platoon advantage against Weathers, and it makes for a very nice stack. You take this over with Contreras, 6.5 over, and then you pick that first inning runs over for this game. So it makes for a really easy three pick play. But that's going to be it for the video. So the locks are Contreras, Morel, and then Yastrzemski. But watch out for the Phillies, also Sonny Gray. Very important spots. 15 games throughout the day for Wednesday. So it seems like a day where I'm going to have to make some updates. But, I'll try to. But, just know that, I might not be able to get back to all of you guys. But I'll do my best. And, hopefully this is another good day for us. We've been rolling. Let's keep it going. And thank you guys for watching. Good luck on the slate, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.